Question for you. What do you think the most important aspect of being a good DP is? Is it lighting? Is it setting up equipment? Is it different cameras? Is it lenses? Is it composition? What is the most important aspect of being a DP? Granted, this is quite a subjective question, but to me, my answer is communication. And the reason why I chose communication is because without that, nothing else really matters and nothing else gets done properly in the way that you want as a DP. Communication is how you're able to describe what you visually want to get accomplished verbally and within a certain language. It's how you talk to your crew. It's how you talk to your team. It's how you talk to the director, producers, frankly, anyone. You need to learn how to speak. You need to learn how to speak well. You need to learn how to speak deliberately. You need to know how to speak with conviction and confidence. There's so many different attributes to confident communication that not necessarily people are born with. It takes time to learn these things. And, myself included, I continually learn how to communicate better. I feel as though I'm getting better more and more that I get into this industry. But what I did realize is truly how important communication is on set to be able to get what we all want accomplished. For most of us that are watching, I'm assuming a lot of you have started with the whole videography, one-man band style of shooting. And by no means is that, there's nothing negative about that at all. Why I say that is because when you're doing the one-man band shooting, very rarely do you find yourself working with a crew or a team to be able to communicate your vision. Most of the time, your vision is in your brain and you internalize it and you talk to yourself about it. Very rarely do you actually verbalize it outwards. So that is a muscle that is rarely touched as a one-man band videographer. But you have so many other strengths, like you're able to light things yourself, you're able to do audio yourself, you're able to shoot yourself, you're able to interview people yourself. The benefits of one-man band is truly that you can do everything and you learn how to do everything. And that provides empathy, which I'll get to later. But the one muscle you are not working is the muscle of verbal communication. It's interesting because when you're starting off, you think the most important thing to become a great cinematographer is how you can light something perfectly, or how you can improve your composition or your lens choices or the camera that you're using. But in reality, the most important aspect of being a good DP is communication. And you only learn that by experience and working on sets with crew that are looking to you for a descriptive answer as to what they're going to be doing. And if you're not able to deliver that message, no one knows what is going on. You're the leader as a DP. You need to steer the ship in a certain direction based on what the visual representation is that you're going for. And if you're not able to clearly communicate your vision, it's going to be a challenge. And for those of you that are watching this that are, thinking to themselves that I might not be a great communicator. I don't really know what I want. My vocabulary isn't great. I don't feel confident in what I'm trying to convey. And maybe I just feel nervous doing that. That's okay. I struggled with that for a while. Leadership is something that comes with experience. It comes with trial. It comes with success, and it comes with failure. And more so, it does come with more and more failure is the reason why you grow to become a great leader. Yes, success is what people want to promote you and provide accolades and praise you for the successes, but it's the failures that truly teach you how to learn to improve for that next time and next go around. And it's not a fun thing. You don't want to seek failure. Nobody wants to seek failure, but it's inevitable, and failure is something that is always going to be present in your life. And it's how you look at failure. When you get to the point where you kind of graduate from the one-man band to a more traditional style with crew, there comes a point where you have to trust your instincts. You have to trust your taste. You have to gain the confidence to be able to verbally communicate your visual ideas. When I first started working with crew, I was really afraid to hire higher level crew. Like, I was really afraid to hire a gaffer that I knew was really great, or a key grip that I knew that was really great, or an AC that was amazing. I felt inadequate. I felt that I didn't have the chops to be able to be that leader. So I was very afraid. To become a great DP, you need to be surrounded by people that are better than you. You need to be surrounded by people that are more intelligent in certain aspects of production than you. Because you're not going to know everything. You shouldn't know every aspect of every single thing. It's just, that's not your job. And the important thing is, how good are you at hiring people? How good are you at bringing on the right crew? And where does that confidence lay when you have that crew to be able to communicate that vision? And what clicked in my mind was, I may not know everything technically, but what I do have confidence in is my personal taste in what an image should look like. Throughout my journey as a DP, I've tried different methods of communication on set. And recently, I have found that the best method of communication for me on set with my crew is bringing on these Hollyland headsets. These headsets are the Hollyland Solidcom C1 Pro headsets. I've been using Hollyland headsets for over a year, maybe a year and a half now, and these newer ones are even better. But regardless, Hollyland headsets, I truly feel, have surpassed any other headset that I've worked with. And more, the different sets that I'm working on, regardless if I bring my own or not, production usually has a set of Hollyland headsets. So they're becoming like way more industry standard than some of the other ones that I've seen a couple years ago. It's not only because they're comfortable, but the battery life is really long, so you can pretty much go a whole day without changing a battery. You could hear very clearly, and honestly, they're very sleek. They're minimal. They're not a huge, bulky headset. So these things I have found to be like the key ingredient to communicating with my crew on set. On set, it's important to keep tabs of your energy and your emotion. It can get hectic at times. It could be very calm at times. But your energy, your demeanor, and your emotions as a DP on set should remain at a constant level of calm, poised, but decisive and confident at all times. And I say that knowing that it could be really tough to do that, especially in really tense situations. I truly understand how tough that could be, and I've struggled with that myself. But the biggest thing that comes with that is not raising your voice to a certain decibel level on set to kind of kill the energy or kill the vibe, because you need something to get done. And that's where I feel that these headsets come in handy as well, is you don't need to scream through the headset to get your idea across. You just pull the microphone down and just talk. And that is invaluable because you're not screaming across set at somebody. And if you have a bunch of headsets, it could be you, it could be your gaffer, key grip, it could be whoever else is on set. And once you convey that message, everybody understands what needs to get done. So it's not just one person that then has to tell another person. It's like a game of telephone. So that's why headsets are really imperative. So if you're interested in the Hollyland headsets, click the link in the description and try them out for yourself. What is another important aspect of communication that people forget, which surprises me beyond belief? Maybe it's just, I don't know, how I was raised, but manners and politeness and respect, it literally goes so far. I feel like people forget the basic please and thank yous. And, you don't have to overdo it. Like, oh, do this, please, do that, please, do this, please, thank you, whatever. You don't have to do it, you don't have to overdo it. But it's important that your crew understands that you respect them and that you acknowledge what they're doing isn't easy all the time, and you have empathy. Remember what I said, empathy, before? When you're a one-man band, you're doing everything. So you understand how difficult some things could be. And that provides empathy. And as a leader, you need to have empathy to be a good leader. It shows that you care about them and you're grateful for what they're doing for you. Because at the end of the day, they're doing a more laborious job, and we're the ones that are creating that image. We're the ones that get to take that image home with us. So it's important to just recognize that the people that are working for you as a crew, whether it's G&E or your AC or your camera team, show them respect, show them love, show them manners, and be polite. Let's talk about the technical side of communication. This is where I feel it's really important to have a strong confidence in your own taste. And yes, as a DP, you need to know a lot. You need to have an understanding of a lot of technical stuff, but it's impossible to know everything. And that's why you hire the right people. But I want to provide 2 examples of ways of communication. One that is speaking in a more equipment-centric style, and the second is communicating in a way more of a look specific or more of a tone or emotional base. So for example, the first one could be something along the lines of, hey, can I get a Aperture 1200D as a key light through a 8x1/4 grid cloth? Can I have 2 additional 1200Ds through the back windows over there with 1/4 CTO? I need a Aperture 600C with room tone at 5600 Kelvin. I need an 8x neg over here. Can you put 2 tubes as hair lights over here? So that's one way of communicating, and that's very equipment centric. That's you having your idea of what you want it to look like, but you also have a very strong opinion of what fixtures you want to use. And here's the second example. So our subject is right here doing this action. I need a key light here that's controlled. I need a big soft source, and I just want to make sure it's wrapped enough so I can, kiss the cheek on the other side and make sure we have an eye light in both eyes. We're going to kind of balance the contrast a little bit, so let's bring in a neg on the opposite side. In the background, I need 2 warm fixtures that are punching through those windows. And since she has darker hair, let's try to maybe put up a little hair light or something, just in case it gets lost in the background. And just in case we need a little bit more room tone, let's kind of put something in the background on the key side, hidden into the ceiling to make sure we have enough room ambience. So that's a very basic example of how I would describe something based more on tone and feeling, and rather than very equipment centric. So out of those 2, which do you feel provides more of an artistic and creative approach to what I'm describing for the gaffer and key grip? The second, because I'm not telling them use this, 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 and this, and just place it here. I'm saying I want this style of something. Use what you believe will give me that best result. I truly believe as a leader, it's your job to empower your crew to feel creative. It's important to allow them to have that creativity and try things on how they perceive my description to get that look. As long as it gets accomplished, and as long as I'm happy with the final image, I don't really care what fixtures we're using, as long as the final image looks how I want. And granted, they're not just going to pick any fixture in the entire world. That's also where communication comes into play in pre-production. I'm going to have a conversation with the gaffer and the key grip to talk about what fixtures we want. And a lot of that also comes down to asking them for their opinion. Like, hey, this is kind of what we're going for. This is the look. This is the budget we have. What do you want to work with here? And within those confines, they have those fixtures to choose from. And I know this was very G&E specific in terms of communication. My style with an AC is very similar, but slightly different because, it's more specific in the sense of hey, I need a 50 mil, I need a 40 mil, I need this. Can we bring the camera up a little bit? I need it on sticks. So we're gonna, are the monitors set up? Are the tower decks working? How's the wireless feed? It's just more specific in terms of there's less variable and just hey, I need these specific things to get done. But the one thing I do want to say for an AC, especially the first AC focus puller, is there could be some instances where your AC isn't really nailing focus. And I've seen this before, and the DP gets really frustrated, to the point where kind of yells at the AC for not being able to pull focus. And I get that, I really do. I understand the frustration because it's wasted time. You're wasting energy from the actors, wasting time for the next scene. But does yelling make that AC pull focus better? I don't know. Maybe it does. I don't know. But my style of communication, if I notice that the AC is struggling, I will take a second to ask them if they need a reset on marks, if they need help, if they need, what do they need from me to be able to better put them in a position of success. And most of the times, that I find they respond to a lot better than getting yelled at, essentially. And when you yell at somebody on set, they're not the only one that feels awkward. Everyone else feels awkward because there's just yelling. Nobody likes yelling on set. Don't do it. Communicate, like I said, show respect, show empathy, but at the same time, you need to push your crew to do their job, and you need to do their job well. That's why you're hiring them. And at a certain level, expectations are high. But it's important to realize that as a leader, you need to always have your crew's back and not yell or embarrass people on set in front of everybody. It's just not cool. So that's my message on communication. Hopefully you found some valuable tips and something in there that you can take away for your production and your next set as a DP. And this might not be just for DPs. This could be for their key people, gaffer, key group, first AC, when you have people under you. Use some of these things as a reference for communication. And all in all, have respect, show empathy, be kind, be polite, be confident in what you're saying, and it'll go a long way. So that's all I got for you today. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Peace out.